What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to you out with a quick video. Today, we're going to talk about the Phoenix Suns, the team that has the worst record in the Western Conference, and they have a potential future, is what I want to talk about. Um, they have some good pieces around that can still develop, and some of them we haven't really seen the best of them. But TJ Warren was a guy that when I went to summer league, he played good and he was very dominant for a summer league player. I knew that he can make an impact in the NBA. I wasn't expecting him to do what he's doing now, but he has showed a lot of improvement and he has showed a lot of wits. Knowing where to be at, knowing when to set the screen, knowing when to be around the basket, knowing when to shoot, and just being patient to get the shots that he wants. Obviously, he plays for a bad team, so he has bad habits. He can sometimes do a little bit too much. But the guy has consistently developed. Same with Devin Booker. I give him credit. Um, Obviously, with the trade of Eric Bledsoe and the injury of Brandon Knight, it opened up opportunities for other players to get more touches and to get more playing time. Obviously, Devin Booker went from averaging 13 his rookie year, which went up as the season ended, to obviously 22 points a game last year, to even more improved 24 points a game this year. We can say the same thing about TJ Warren. They starting small forward. He averaged 6 points a game his first year, and his second year I seen him at summer league. He had a good summer league. I knew he had potential. He just had to put the work at. He had to have the work ethic, put in the work, and it'll pay off. But he went from 6 points a game to almost double, which was 11. And the funny part about that, he only got 22 minutes a game, and he only played 47 games that year, and four of them he has started. But that's almost double the points, even though he had, didn't play as much. But that's a significant improvement, especially when you consider that he comes in the next year and averaged 14.4 points a game, and he starts majority of the season, and his numbers all across the board, scoring wise, has went up, and he had got cracked that starting lineup. He averaged more rebounds, more assists. Um, a full steal a game and 14 points. He comes back this year, plays 56 games and start all of the 56. He's shooting 50% from the field with 16 field goals attempts a game, and he's making half his shots. That's elite as a perimeter player. Obviously, he's not the greatest 3-point shooter, but I got to give him credit. He doesn't really attempt that many threes as is. His career high in 3-point attempts was 1.5 threes a game, and that's not really even two threes a game. He might have games where he shoot two or less, basically. So his 3-point percentage really don't even matter to me because he's not shooting enough of them to really judge if he a great or terrible 3-point shooter because he's not shooting that much to even see how great he is at it. So free throw percentage haven't really improved as much. Then you go into points, 19 points a game, almost 20 points a game. Like I said, you have to put that in context. One thing he is doing, if you watch the eye test, he's getting more shots because they don't have as much talent. Obviously, Devin Booker went down some games this year, and he had to take more shots just because Devin Booker went down. Obviously, the Eric Bledsoe trade, somebody had to pick up some of his points because he's gone completely off the roster, and they don't have Greg Monroe either. So somebody gonna have to take that almost 20 points a game, and they gave it, to Booker and Warren, and their numbers have developed. But can T.J. Warren really be a starting small forward in the league when he can't, when he doesn't shoot threes? And like I said, they are the worst team in the NBA. So it ain't like him and Devin Booker averaging 20 and destroying the league. Devin Booker averaging 24, he averaging 19, but they're not winning any games really in the beginning, middle, and is almost the end of the season. And both of them is a good tandem offensively, and that is a bright future considering that how young Devin Booker is, and considering that T.J. Warren has improved every season. Not only that though, he's only 24 years old, so you have to put that at, like, the guy can only get better from here. going into next season, he'll be 25, and all he's gonna have to do is continue to expand it in his game, and he showed that he can score. He's starting. He's playing against the best players in the league. He's playing against the starters. And he's playing a position where you have to go against the best players like KD, like Kawhi, like LeBron, like Paul George, on the on a nightly basis. And considering that you're in the Western Conference, also that show you how hard it really is to do it. But like I said, for him to shoot 50%, you have to give him a lot of credit for finishing, knocking down the mid-range jumpers consistently at a high enough clip. We talking about LeBron and KD as players that shoot 50% as perimeter players. It's not that many doing that, and Warren is one of them. He's shooting a higher percentage than Devin Booker by a long shot, but Devin Booker take the late second shot clocks, and he also take a lot of tough shots because they sending double teams and traps at him, which gives him chances to be open and knock down shots. Same with Bender, same with Chris, same with Chandler. Devin Booker opens up this whole offense because he draws so much attention. And people say, hey, if we stop Devin Booker, we have a chance of winning, even though nobody really does. And even when you watch the games, he get whatever he wants to anyway. He gets his 25. For you to average 24 points a game, you got to be scoring over 23 points a game every single game to average over 24, because he's at 24.4. So they haven't been able to slow Devin Booker down that much because he's still lighting up the NBA either way it goes. So I thought that was interesting to talk about the Suns. I said a lot of things negative about the Suns. Obviously about Josh Jackson. I feel like he could have been better. Obviously, he doesn't have the body yet. He's still quick. He's still athletic. He still has that hustle and play hard built in him. If he can continue to work on his jumper and continue to work on his knowledge and study and being a student of the game, the world is his, because he has the athleticism, he has the speed, he has the leaping ability, and he has the motor to get the rebounds, to get the putbacks, to get the dunks, and to outplay other players at his position. But you also got to think about it. He still has load up potential, and he doesn't have the body. And when you add that together, Josh Jackson has a bright future ahead of him. He just had a decent rookie season, but he's starting to get those minutes, starting to get those touches by the end of the season. So we should see what he's going to do. Obviously, Bender and Marquise Chris has been a disappointment since they took both of them in the same draft. They expected more out of them, but people already know a lot of times the saying is big men take longer to develop the footwork. It take longer to develop the touch. It take longer to develop big men in general. Most big men like Jahlil Okafor and Karl-Anthony Towns, they put more work in and wanted it a lot more than other centers. Even Kristaps Porzingis was a guy that came in as a solid player. He wasn't a dominant or crazy player. He averaged 13, 14 points a game. Now before he got injured, he became better, but his numbers was falling down every year. So it take longer for a big man to develop, so I give them credit. And, they're trying to be more perimeter oriented, so they got to develop that touch for their size. So the Suns have a bright future considering that they're going to get a top pick. And on top of that, you already have Booker in place. You already have Josh Jackson in place. You have a player like TJ Warren that can be a tweener, a 3 or a 4. And, sometimes you can even, play around with him in other lineups too, because he has the athleticism and the quickness. And he is 6'8", 215. So we'll see what happens with them. Also, in the draft, it's a lot of big guys. So even if Warren don't work out, you have some big small forwards, some big power forwards, and some centers coming up in this draft. If you give up on Alex Len, which it looks like they done, and if you give up on Chris and Bender, we done seen Moutier. Like I always bring that up. They got rid of Ty Lawson because they wanted to build around Moutier as a franchise guy. 2 years later, he's not even on the Denver Nuggets, and his rookie contract not even up, and he's already on the New York Knicks. This is a business. This is competitive. This is they trying to win. This is a business. So if you're not cutting it, they're going to replace you. And T.J. Warren on the contract that he's under and the numbers that he's putting up, even though they're a little empty because they're not winning, he's still a valuable piece because people see what he can bring to the table. He's starting. He's doing against the best teams. He's being scouted as one of the best players for the Suns. So they're seeing what he can do and what he can offer on this Phoenix Sun team. So people are going to be interested in him. So even if they do keep this pace up and he do continue to put up these numbers this season and they do want to replace him or give Josh Jackson a 3 minutes, it wouldn't really matter anyway because he's a tradable piece for that contract in his age, and he showed they can play on this level as a starter, whether he's in the West or the East, because he's been doing this consistently throughout the year. So let me know what you guys think about the Phoenix Suns. Do they have a bright future? Is Devin Booker gonna stay? Will he sign the extension, or would he do like Greg Monroe, opt in and try to take the minimum, the qualifying offer, and try to become a free agent because he don't feel like they're going down the right path, or you think they should continue to draft, continue to rebuild? We have to be a little bit more patient on Bender and Chris. But Alex Len been there for a couple years and he never developed into really not even a starting center at this point. So like I said, just because they're young and have potential, that don't mean they're going to maximize it. That don't mean they're going to reach their peak. That don't mean they're going to develop into stars or superstars. When you draft a player, you see the potential. You hope that they can realize it. You hope that you can get a guy that's working hard enough to get to that point where he's one of the best players in the league. But like I said, just like Alex Len is reality, sometimes it don't pan out, and sometimes they never develop into what you envision. And hopefully that don't happen to Chris and Dragon Bender. But we shall see. Let me know what you guys think. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Also, check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going.